An album a day is my exploration into the Korean music scene. This podcast will cover mainstream, indie, and some underground artists within the scene and provide both factual and opinionated commentary. The biggest benefit to sharing my thoughts this way is that it will hopefully expose you to more great music and exploration of your own. All right. It's day 5 of the rookie roundup. I'm actually we're progressively getting better and better with each group. This go around, we have One We, Only One Of, Purple Beck, and Rocket Punch. And this is by far the most eclectic lineup that we've had of rookies. So I'm very excited to talk about them with you. Let's get started.
루키 라운드업 쇼 스타트.
You know, I don't really quite understand how not being able to see at this moment makes my whole life difficult. I took my glasses off to clean my face, and now I can't see anything. But that has nothing to do with what we got going on. So you're gonna hear me far away for a second because I gotta grab some glasses. My phone is going off. It's a turned up Friday, okay? All right, I got new eyeballs. I got my eyeballs in place. Bet we out here. Boom, 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 boom. One We. That's where we're coming from. One We, South Korean pop rock band, and it's 5 members: Younghoon, Harin, Kanghyun, Dongmyoung, and Sia, possibly. I find it interesting because it reminds me of Zaya, who I also say is Sia, and get into debates about. His name is Junsu, if you're unfamiliar with who I'm speaking about. That's a super senior entertainer. But I like these guys. I like it because there's a hip-hop edge to it. You've got indie rock, alt rock, and what they said, South Korean pop rock. It's a really good mashup of sounds. They remind me a lot of Linkin Park. Not based on delivery, but just that mashup of the hip hop vibe along with the live instrumentation. It's really, really cool. I feel that their drummer is too big for his drum set, but I think they have it so low sitting for 2 reasons. 1, he's just tall. And then 2, to be able to not block him from being seen. We don't want it to be like the drummer from CM Blue, where you have to crane your neck to see his gorgeous self. So this group was originally formed under the name Make a Sound 0094. MAS 0094 was the way it was stylized, and it was the same 5 members. They actually released a digital single way back in 2015. Wow, that's hilarious to say way back. It was 5 years ago. But they really didn't make their official re-debut. So this is the first time we've had a re-debut on the show. And that was something that we talked about in day before yesterday's Instagram live stream. If you have a group that's already existed and they re-debut, are they rookies again? No, this is not technically a rookie group given the circumstances. They've been around since 2015, but they've been completely and utterly repackaged, new name. So we're going to count it. They're not rookies though, but we're going to count it anyway. So the good thing about this is because they are not rookies, we do have other albums that we can go back into and look at them more extensively once we get to the O-lettered groups. So because of that, I will not get into super detail with them because we'll eventually hit them again. So just know that they are definitely worth checking out, definitely worth listening to. We go from there to another O group name, Only One Of, which is a genuine rookie. They debuted May 28, 2019 with Dot Point Jump. I don't know why they're called Only One Of. I have no idea. But they're a boy band. They're formed by RSVP and 8D Creative. I don't know who those are either. But we have leader Love. It's so cute. Leader is Love. You have KB, Rie. It's actually Rie. So Rie, Yujung, Junji, Mil, and 9. I don't know where these names came from. I can't help you. I can't, but they had 2 EPs, Dot Point, which was released May 28, 2019, and then Line Sun Goodness, October 30th. They've got a catchy production style. And beyond that, like now that I'm going back, like I just listened to all of these groups. I don't have the most recent single from them, the one that came out within the past month, a month and a half at the time of this recording, is really, really intriguing. But they're not as memorable as the group before them, One Us. So I don't know how they're going to fare with having that many people and whatnot. I'm not certain, but there's no distinction, which kind of blows bubbles. You want it to be something distinct that I can at least share with you to further intrigue you to listen to them beyond just saying they're rookies, give them some consideration. But I don't have anything out of the ordinary for them. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing or just a reflection of them getting started. Who knows what'll happen this year. Now, when we get over to these girl groups, we have 2 of them. The first of which will be Purple Beck, which I've seen written as one word as well as written as 2. These girl groups, these 2019 rookies, bring a lot to the table for the girl groups. There's a lot of variety in terms of physical aesthetic, and there's also a lot of variety in terms of vocal power. I like to hear it. I very much do. Purple Beck reminds me, who do they remind me of? They remind me of an early Red Velvet. They remind me of Red Velvet pre Ice Cream Cake. And it's ironic that I would say something like that about them reminding me of a SM group, because one of their videos had a massive former SM super senior amazing man in one of their videos. They had Kim Jae-jung with his illustrious, beautiful self, formerly of DBSK / TVXQ, currently of JYJ, and of himself. And I screamed, and I have a migraine while I'm recording this, even though I sound extremely excited. You hear all kind of noises in the background in the microphone as well. I'm trying to fix a knot in one of my necklaces. But yeah, like, boy, like, talk about a cosign. You get him, the Vampire King. Well, he technically got in Japan is the king, but we're not talking about that right now. You get him? Like, oh my God. So yeah, I was wailing with enthusiasm over that. But nonetheless, the group, I'm excited for them. They got a really cool style, and they even busted a Michael Jackson moonwalk and one of his pelvic thrusts in one of the choreographies for their videos. So they've got some pizzazz to them, and I'm interested in seeing what these ladies further do. They're on Majesty Entertainment, debuted June 24th, 2019 with the EP Crystal Ball, and it's 5 members currently. They debuted with 5. It's still 5 at the time of this recording. Yeowol, Yerim, Leon, Minnie, and Seyun. And then finally, we go over to our last group. Our last girl group of the day is Rocket Punch. Rocket Punch reminds me of Baby twice, which is ironic because they did a version of Feel Special for a special stage, and it totally fits. It fits. Even though it's 6 of them, they brought the same energy that their seniors bring. So they're on Woolum Entertainment. That is definitely a label I am familiar with, and hopefully some of you listening are familiar with as well. Woolum had or has, however you want to look at it, Infinite, Lovely's Golden Child, Two Heart, which was a project group. So I'm familiar with them, and quite a bit of long-term K-pop fans will be, familiar with them as well. So the group consists of Juri, Yeonhee, Suyun, Young. Wow, how to say that? 어떡하지? 잠시만요. Okay, Yoon Kyung. The English romanization of her name is Yunkyoung, but the actual Hangul is Yoon and then Kyung. Okay, I get it. Sohee and Dahyun. Their leader is Yeonhee. But the particular in this, the one that most people might be familiar with or are familiar with, is jury because she was a part of major Japanese idol group AKB48. So she is a part of this group as well. And that's pretty cool. She graduated from AKB48 and promptly went right on over to Korea and became a part of Willem Entertainment and then debuted with Rocket Punch. So her formal Japanese name is Takahashi Juri. Really cool. Really cool. And she was born in Japan. She is Japanese. So they have just one project, Pink Punch, and the single is Bim Bam Boom. And it's pretty catchy, but again, it reminds you a lot of Twice. Even the aesthetic of the video falls right into that. So a lot of them came together based on Produce 48. And again, that's not a shock for us because we've talked about these rookies being a part of these shows fairly frequently throughout the Rookie Roundup. So yeah, this one was like easy to fly through. Everyone is worth listening to, albeit I don't specifically remember what makes one of the groups distinct. And I don't want to lie to you. So I'm not too certain about only one of, but I feel like the others will definitely be able to sustain decent careers. So that's it for today's Roundup. I'll catch you in the next episode. Bye, y'all. Your favorite foreign Korean music historian exploring all the industry from A to Z. There's sponsored ads and social media hashtags, but this show is truly supported by the efforts of my Migualas, the most amazing fan base a little entertainer could ever have. Special shout out to my Patreon patrons, the student body, and the scholars who keep my vision of becoming your favorite Korean music historian exploring all the industry from A to Z a real thing. If you're interested in supporting the growth of this podcast and supporting content, please visit patreon.com/multifacetedacg. And for as little as $1 a month, you can get in on the magic too. Interested in continuing your support at the free $99 price? I love you for it. You can still engage with the show when you retweet, repost, and share the show and use hashtag A3 and the word DAY. You can also tag MULTIFACETEDACG to get my attention. And if you're listening to this podcast on a platform other than Anchor.fm, please leave a few stars or a review to keep things growing in the right direction.